Ghana has been everything and more. Truly one of the most rewarding journeys of my career. And I will head off now on my next assignment. If it's anything like these past 4 years in Ghana, then I know it will be extraordinary. To the next EU ambassador, a good colleague, a good friend, I say Akwaba, wishing you an equally enriching journey. May your experience be as inspiring and even more impactful. For now, goodbye and thank you, Ghana.
I arrived first time to Ghana in the early 90s as a young diplomat trainee with the European Commission. Now, over 30 years later, I'm back at where my career began, this time as the European Union ambassador to Ghana. Follow me on my exciting journey. Hello Ghana, my name is Rune Skinnebach.
What's cooking? You, yes you, are very welcome to What's Cooking right here on ChannelOne TV. My name is Apiorkor Seyiram Ashong Abe. As usual, Apiorkor will suffice. Now, if this is the first time you're joining us on this show, this is where we take ingredients, we make magic, we tell stories, and most of all, we have a great meal and a great time. Now, you just saw a video before I came into your shot, and if you haven't caught on to the story already, we're welcoming a very special gentleman into our kitchen today, but he's not coming alone. He's coming with, I may say, the chef, and he's the sous chef. Or when they come, they can tell us who the chef is and who the sous chef is. You know, we'll sort that out. However, I'll explain all about who he is, and you will get to experience him once he enters the kitchen. Now, don't forget that this show is sponsored by Tasty Tom. And Tasty Tom, you've always known them for their tomato paste, their tomato mix. Now there's a range of spices that they have that you can enjoy in using your kitchens. There's a jollof spice, a stew spice, a beef spice, chicken spice, you name it. Go out there, try it. I promise you, you will not regret it. And we want to say a very big thank you to Lily Rice as well. Lily Rice, we've known them for a very long time, and they have never disappointed us in the Ghanaian kitchen. And we want to say thank you for holding us down here on What's Cooking. Let's go for a short break, and when we come back, we get cooking. You're very welcome back. This is What's Cooking right here on ChannelOne TV. And if you're just joining us, my name is Apiorkor. But we had a very dramatic intro, and if you missed it, that's on you. But you haven't missed the actual introduction of my guests onto the set. And so I'm going to do that now. We're making a very interesting meal. I'm not going to take the wind out of my guest's sail, but you can see a range of ingredients here. Some are sweet, some are savory, some are vegetables, some are spices, but bottom line, this is going to be a good meal. I have no doubt about it. But help me to welcome His Excellency Rune Skinnebach. Now, let me tell you a little bit about him before you see him in your shot. Over 30 years ago, about 30 years ago, he first came to Ghana as a young diplomat with the European Commission. And now, 30-odd years later, he's back as the EU ambassador to Ghana. Now, he's not here alone. He's here with his phenomenal woman of a wife in her own right. She's a whole mood, and you will meet her too very shortly. Madam Lise Skinnebach. So please help me welcome them onto the set. Hello. Hi. Good to be here. Good to have you. Hi.
Thanks for having us.
Good to have you. Thank you for coming. How are you doing?
Very well, and
Good.
Excited to cook with you or for you. I'm not quite sure.
But excited to have you here. Now, please tell us about what you're making. Zanzibar stew. That sounds very exotic and like a vacation in your plate.
Do you want me to?
Yes, please go ahead.
So
she's the chef.
Of course.
But I have my helper.
Absolutely.
We have just lived in Malawi, where we had a cook who had worked in Tanzania for many years. And him and I kind of put together or created this dish that we decided to call Zanzibar stew, because it contains quite a lot of spices. And we were thinking Stone Town, which is known for lots of delicious spices, exactly. and then chickpeas, coconut milk, etc. We decided to call it Zanzibar stew, so that's what we're making.
I love it, I love it. But we're not making that alone.
Not alone.
Yeah? So what else do we have?
So then I decided to make a nice salad, so a very healthy one as well, with red cabbage, kale, apples to make it a bit sweet, and some pesto roasted sun seeds. Yeah,
no, you brought your A game to the kitchen, and we're going to make some bread as well.
That as well,
because you already have the dough going.
Yes,
we'll get.
So one thing that I really like to do is to bake bread, and I have a good sourdough going. I have this sourdough that I in fact bring with me from country to country. Wow. So this one has seen quite a bit. I prepared that from home, but I would like to get that going pretty soon.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. So we'll start with that. Your Excellency.
Yes.
Now I know that you have a love, which our chef has instilled in you, for healthy eating. Right?
That is very true. And one thing I'm very good at is eating bread.
But it's healthy bread.
Exactly. Perfect match.
Healthy bread. So where do we begin? I mean, before we get started, I have a quote. You know, we started this thing on the show. My producer said, no, let's have a quote every show. And I've fallen in love with it. So there's a quote today, and I'm going to read it because I want to get it right. It's from Anne Wigmore, and I'll tell you who she is. The food you eat can either be the safest or most powerful form of medicine, or the slowest form of poison.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes. And Anne Wigmore was an American-Lithuanian chef, very popular, very much known for her advocacy for healthy eating, how we treat our food. A lot of modern-day dietetics and nutrition came from her. So I thought, if the EU is here, then why not have a European coat? And
very good.
So where do we begin? And I see you have your recipe here.
I have a few notes.
And I like that. Okay, so we need some aprons as well. You've got those. Okay, who wants red and white? Who wants black and white?
It doesn't matter.
So I would like to switch on the oven.
Okay.
Yeah.
50, 100, 150?
So around 430. It needs to be quite hot.
It needs to be hot.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do that.
Should I start chopping, Lise?
Yes, but I think a lot has been prepared in advance.
I need to chop the sweet potatoes in dice. I need to swap the onions.
Maybe if you start with this, making this as fine as you can.
Okay.
Yeah. Chopping or grating, in fact.
Great.
So I'll put the oven on.
Great.
We can. Should we show them what we have with our dough so far?
Let's do that.
Yes.
So this is I don't know, my sourdough. Sour bread dough. I put in a few olives to make it a little festive.
I was wondering what the black bits. I was wondering if it was raisins. Okay. Olives.
Yeah. So some olives. It's a very sort of runny dough. So it's going to run out a bit, but in fact this might be just perfect. This tray. Yeah. So in fact, let's just...
this is one of my favorite trays to bake in.
Yeah, but it looks like a nice tray, so let's just get it. No, not like this, but very soon you will be able to. And the good thing about sourdough bread is that it eases digestion. It's better for your digestive system, I think.
I find that. So you know, a lot of the bread we eat in Ghana is white bread.
Yeah.
It's very heavy.
Yeah.
But I love sourdough.
Yeah.
So I've started trying to experiment with sourdough recipes, but that still have a Ghanaian flavor to it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about this.
But this, I will share the recipe, but maybe just a spoon to get
I was
this
very
out.
grateful. Okay.
So it can be a little sort of, it's not so pretty. I think it's fine if it's a little rustique.
No, of course.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. It's very artistic. Yeah. Okay.
Voila.
Right. Okay, so I'll take this.
I'm just going to give it a little shake, and then while the oven is heating, it can in fact just stand here and take care of itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. So while we wait for this, where do we go? Sous chef?
I start chopping
The
some
chopper.
garlic and ginger. I
Okay,
guess.
so let me get you a knife. Sorry. So you're the expert chopper.
I'm the expert chopper. Yes.
Is that a role you chose, or that's what was?
That's actually no. You know, the thing is that my wife is very, very good in the kitchen, but very, very slow. So
It's true, in fact. Yeah.
She's feeling the soul of the food. That's
exactly.
what it is.
I think it becomes a meditation sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree with you. Well, okay, so let's talk about that. I'll come to his. I don't want to disturb the
chopping.
the precision of the chopping.
Yeah, right.
I'll come to him, but for you, when you were coming to Ghana the first time, you were coming as a couple.
Yeah.
How long had you been together then?
Do you want the real story?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. On national TV, Rune?
No.
The real version,
The
of
real
the
version.
real story
Yes.
that we can put out comfortably on national.
No, but so I'll give you the story. So we met, and in fact, the first thing Rune whispered in my ears was whether I would come with him to Ouagadougou. And I was just a young country girl from Denmark who had never heard of Ouagadougou. And we didn't go there. We ended up in Accra. But we had known each other for 3 months or something. It was, we didn't know each other very well. Yeah. And we arrived here and had 3 brilliant years together.
So Accra is your love story.
You can say that.
It's our honeymoon.
That's very humbling to. So what was that like for you? I mean, young, you see this dashing gentleman who says, come with me to this West African country. And this is in the early 90s, so not much like Accra is now, very different.
Very different from how Accra is today. Yeah. It was but surprisingly easy. In fact, of course, it was a big change. Not only arriving in a new country, but also moving in together and living like a couple.
Interesting.
I studied at Legon University. I studied psychology for a while.
So you studied here?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. University of Ghana, that's my alma mater. We'll come back to this. Your Excellency.
Yes.
So, the first time you came to Ghana, was that what is that what the job required you to do, or was it a choice? How did it happen?
I came as what we call a junior expert, so it's a Danish foreign ministry that finances first professional experiences for people who want to work in international politics. And I made it through the interview, and they asked me where I wanted to go, and I said Vietnam. And they looked at each other.
In the early 90s.
And they laughed and say, why don't you go to Ghana? And I said, Ghana sounds great too. I was so happy to get a job. And I didn't know at all what to expect. And then it was a long recruitment process. We met in the way, we decided to come here together. And then the world opened up for us here in Ghana. And we came in this time of year, November 94, and I remember the wall of heat getting out of the plane.
Sounds like it.
And even if the airport was the one which is domestic now, I think.
Yes, so
it was the
Kotoka
old
Terminal 2.
It was the old airport, but it was completely overwhelming. And getting out there through the crowds, find a car, going to a hotel, it was amazing. And it was a true adventure, and I got my house shortly after. And I remember still Christmas Eve, no furniture at all, a phone on the floor. Lise was back home with her parents celebrating, and I was sitting on the floor waiting for the phone to ring, and not even being able to afford to call Europe, which was very expensive, of course, at the time.
Yes, at the time. I think this says something about what diplomacy also does for diplomats. You know, most of the time when we think about it, we're thinking about the bilateral relations and whatnot, but as individuals, there's also an adventure that you're on. Every single time there's a posting. What has that been like for you, Lise? Every time you've had to go to a new place and discover, make friends, what's that like? And of course, you're the wife of the ambassador or the envoy. And that also comes with its own responsibilities because you're a diplomat too. But people don't realize that.
Yeah, yeah.
What's it like?
It has mainly been good. I mean, with most things in life, there are ups and downs. There are obviously nuances, but I like arriving in a new place. It is a little bit like, I don't know, laying a big puzzle, you know, piece after piece. So mostly it has been good, and especially Ghana. That's why we're coming back and re-experiencing that, and also just sort of taking in what's happening right now is a real pleasure. Yeah. But of course it requires some good adaptation skills sometimes as well.
That's, I mean, amazing. I doff my hat off to you too. Well, we'll come back to the story, but let's come back to the food. How's he doing?
He's doing okay, but maybe I should help.
But he says you're the slow one.
You see, she's the diplomat. Yeah.
So
Do you have a grater? Because then I could grate the ginger.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll get a grater for
Great.
you
Yeah.
right away. It's very clear that the chef in the home is Lise. Like, no two ways about it. We're not even fighting it. And she's not just a chef, she is a drill sergeant in the kitchen. And we love it. It's giving us some great results. But we've, you know, sort of done division of labor here. So His Excellency is making the Zanzibar stew, and Lise is making the salad. And before you say, oh, but the salad would be easy, this is a very technical salad. Look at this, because we're coating the seeds. These are sunflower seeds. So we're coating them with pesto.
Yes.
And we're going to have to roast them.
Roast them a little bit in the oven.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have all these different flavors that we're playing around with. So it's not your regular salad. And as I've come to understand over the last 30-odd minutes, Lise is not your regular cook, so I'm not surprised.
Let's see how it turns out.
It looks good already.
Thank
Now,
you.
sunflower seeds, roasted sunflower seeds, one of my favorite snacks, but I've never had pesto-coated ones.
I discovered this recipe recently, and because cabbage, which is very good for us, is also a little bit boring. So it just adds a nice crunch and taste to the salad. Yeah.
And you've gone for red cabbage, so I imagine it's because of the color as well.
Yes. So red cabbage combined with kale is quite pretty.
Yeah, it is.
And then we're adding apples for sweetness, and then most people will join in.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, beautiful. How are we doing with our Zanzibar stew?
I'm not quite sure. Let's see.
But I like how we're referencing the recipe. I like it. So Lise, so you wrote out the recipe yourself?
It was a little bit sort of I had very good help from my cook.
From the cook?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I love it. I love it. So do you have like a collection of recipes?
Yes.
You carry them around?
Yeah, I do.
That's such a beautiful thing.
And I have to tell you this story. Our 3 children just moved away from home, and as they left, I gave them a handwritten book with recipes. They didn't look so excited.
Of all the things you're giving us, Mom. No, but that's so sweet. We're going to go for a break. And when we return, we have more brilliant conversations with the Skinnebachs, who are in the What's Cooking kitchen today. And then we see how the Zanzibar stew is going. No offense to you, Your Excellency, but I'm very sure the salad is going well. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's still What's Cooking. And look at this. Look at this gorgeousness. So if you're just joining us, then you don't know what this is. If you've been with us from the beginning, then I'll let you know where we've got to in the process. So if you remember, the indefatigable Lise said she was making some bread, some sourdough bread, and we had that in the oven, very rustic, sprinkled some rosemary on it. We've got some olives in there, and this is the result. A very, very beautiful piece of brodo, as we say in Ghana. Yes. Well, this is your ordinary brodo. It's not ordinary brodo. You know, but I can't wait to dig into this. It's lovely. And thank you for bringing the surprise along.
I hope I won't disappoint.
No, I'm sure you will not. I'm sure, because I'm smelling you know how when you smell food, you can already sort of know what it's going to taste like? Yeah. That's what we're experiencing. And that's how I know His Excellency's pot of Zanzibar stew is doing well, because I'm smelling that too. Yeah, how are we doing here?
I'm not sure. I'm worried that it's getting burned, but I've learned as a child that if a stew gets burned, it's because of the pot. It's never the chef.
It's never the chef.
Yeah.
It's the pot.
Yeah.
Taken. It's the pot. No. If it gets burnt, it's the pot. In any case, you know, in Ghana, we have something that we call kanzo. So kanzo is like the burnt bits of any food that you cook. So when you take jollof, you know, there's usually some burnt bits. We call that kanzo or jollof kanzo. Whatever you make and there's a bit of a burnt bit at the bottom, then it's kanzo. So Zanzibar stew kanzo cannot be bad. We'll eat it. And Lise, how's the salad going?
The salad is going fine, but I have a suggestion for the other chef to perhaps get the pesto-coated sunset in the oven.
Okay, sounds great. So
does this bowl go in the oven?
No, it does not. But at least, are we putting it in the paper or directly?
Yes,
still in the paper.
Spread it out as much as possible.
Okay.
And then in the oven for 8 minutes, then they should be nice and crunchy.
So once again, these are sunflower seeds, very edible, very healthy, one of my favorite snacks. But what has happened here is that our chefs, I'm being very generous,
Yes,
have coated the sunflower seeds with pesto to give it an added flavor, added character, and then of course some added nutritional value. So we're just spreading those out and then we're putting them right back in the oven. Okay, and this time the oven is a lot cooler than it was for the bread. So Lise, we're doing 175 degrees Celsius.
Yes,
that's what we're doing.
8 minutes.
Okay.
That should be fine.
Wonderful. Okay, so this is going in. For 8 minutes. Okay. All right. So what next? It looks like you guys are a real team. Clearly in life, but also in the kitchen. So do you cook together often?
Do we cook together often?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really. We used to, but nowadays it's and in Denmark it's very often the husband that cooks, of course.
I've heard that. Why is that so? Is it a cultural thing?
I think it's a cultural thing that even for the paternity leave is the same length as the maternity leave. So there's this very much equality between the genders. It also means we are not quite there yet. So salaries between men and women are very balanced, I'd say. And therefore also in the kitchen, when it comes to cleaning, when it comes to spending time with the kids, it's balanced between the two genders.
So it's something that parents are making a conscious effort to raise their children with.
Yeah, absolutely. However, we haven't lived in Denmark for 30 years.
Well,
we have great hopes for the next generation.
That's interesting. But so what do you do together? I mean, now that's not cooking, what are some of your favorite things to do together? It's like, apart from travel and see and, you know, be adventurous and enter new spaces and raise children, wonderful children who are now independent and on their own.
I think we have, through our lifestyle, we have enough adventures, really, and certainly through our children as well. So we spend time with the kids very often together, also one-on-ones, because it's enriching in a different way. And once we have traveled to a new posting, once we have been with our kids, once we have eaten the wonderful food of the country we are posted to, we often sit quietly at night and read.
Interesting.
And
so are you reading together, or you have separate texts that
separate texts?
Okay, but so
and
it's like a reading party for two.
Yeah, and in the beginning I thought we were embarrassingly quiet, but in the end I think we both enjoy this moment of silence.
What do you like to read?
I am reading a Ghanaian book right now called Homecoming by, her name is Afi. It's embarrassing, I can't remember.
No, it's fine.
But it's about the whole history of slavery and Ghanaians settling in the US, and then constantly ties back to Ghana. It's a very good book, and I'm embarrassed I can't remember the writer's name, but Afi something.
Afi?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll find it. And what are you reading?
I'm reading a trilogy by a Norwegian guy called Tiller, which is killing me, but I'm determined to finish it.
But how do you, so clearly you carve time out to read, and the question I'm about to ask, all over the world there have been conversations about whether reading is a dying culture because of the digital age that we're in and all that, but especially in Ghana, we struggled with reading culture for a very long time, even before the advent of digital. I ask people, what are you reading? I haven't read in 2 years. Why? I'm busy.
Yeah.
But for you, what is the importance there, and why do you keep making time for it?
So for me, it's because that's how we grew up. We grew up, there was one TV channel, it was always boring. There were no alternatives. So it's part of our habits, of course. But you're absolutely right, and I have stopped pronouncing me on what is right and wrong for the current youngsters, because I see my own kids. They do their homework in bed, lying and playing with their phones, and they do much better than their parents.
They're still getting A's.
They're still getting by.
So I don't know. In the beginning, I said, no, you need a desk, you need to be seated, you need to be straight, you need to do 3 hours a day, you need to be uninterrupted, you need proper reading light, all this stuff. They never listened to their father, of course, and they did very well without. So I've given up.
Interesting. What about you, Lise? What's your take on that, reading?
On reading, for me, it's a good way to relax my body and my mind. Sometimes it's entertaining, at other times it's educative. Yeah. So, but I agree with my husband that it's also habit. Yeah. I mean, we do watch a movie from time to time as well.
I like that. Okay, I see our salad is just about done.
Yeah.
So what did we put on top?
Yes, so it's a nice dressing. It's apple cider vinegar, honey, can you say that? Yeah. Salt and pepper and olive oil. So it's a sweet dressing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love sweet, so
yeah, so
a bit too much. A bit too much. Yeah.
But I think we are also.
But you're giving me healthy sweet, so
no,
I'll feel good about this one.
Feel very good about this one.
But it's very colorful, very beautiful.
And then we're back to sort of speaking to different senses. So not only taste, but also looks. Yeah.
Very, very beautiful. I think we don't do. I mean, we do a lot of cabbage in Ghana, but not much red cabbage. But I think this is a very nice alternative for people who, especially we have children, talking about families. People still struggle to get their children and their husbands to eat healthy. But if it's colorful like this, then chances are, there'll be more of that. Okay, so the stew. Are we set?
I think we are getting there.
Yeah. So how do we know when it's ready? I see that it's getting thicker.
I think it should be getting thicker, and I think that the sweet potatoes should be getting cooked.
Okay. So the thickness that we're seeing, is it because of the sweet potato? Okay.
Careful not to burn yourself.
Yeah.
I just did.
That's a bit. Okay. Teamwork makes the dream work. Thank you. Okay. So is it the sweet potato that's giving us the thickness?
That's the. coconut milk
the coconut milk.
and the peanut butter, I
Okay.
guess.
Coconut milk and the peanut butter. Okay.
But I think we're getting there, no?
Yeah, we are. It's looking good.
See if I can.
So, you know, when we talk about stew in Ghana, most of the time, the stew is just an accompaniment. So, the main dish is the rice or the yam or the banku or the kenke, whatever it is. And then the stew is just something that goes with it, you know. But in other parts of the world, I'm seeing it here, the stew is a main dish because that's where, you know, so we have the Zanzibar stew, right?
Yeah.
And then we have our salad as well.
And the couscous.
And the couscous.
Yes. Can I look in the oven?
Yes,
Should I,
Yes, we
should I
can.
cut some bread?
Yeah, good idea.
oh, we're going to cut some bread. How are we doing?
Have a look at it. I think
Is it ready?
We're getting there, but maybe
Do a bit more?
it needs to, so that they get a little more
So it needs to
crispy.
be dry.
Yes.
Okay.
And or more roasted. I don't know, maybe we can put the temperature up just a little bit
Do that.
so that they just get a slightly burned color.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful.
Are we there turning it up
Yes, we are.
a bit? Great.
We're fine.
2 minutes, 3 minutes? Yeah, thank you.
So let's talk about the couscous. There are different kinds of couscous, right? So do you have to choose a particular one, Lise, to go with this dish, or not really?
I think this type of couscous, it really, so you just talked about there being a lot in the stew. It sort of absorbs the sauce quite well, yeah. And then I am not a health freak in a radical sense, but this is also, I mean, we used to eat a lot of rice, for example, and it does contain a lot of carbohydrates that at our age or mine, at least it sits a little sort of heavy in your body. So this is better for your digestion. Yeah,
I love it. I love the idea. Okay, well, I love couscous. I really do. In Ghana, well, in some parts of Western Africa, we've got fonio, which is similar to couscous. But I imagine we could also eat a Zanzibar stew with any of our tubers.
but absolutely. I mean, you could eat it with. You could definitely eat it with any kind of, I don't know, mashed yam, potato. Sweet potatoes might be. No, that's in the stew. Okay, that would be a bit of an overkill.
Well, if you love sweet potato that much, it just might work out.
Exactly.
Okay, so we cut some of the bread.
Yeah.
Our expert cutter came to the rescue. But do you have to slice it in a particular way or no?
No. It was just to get the camera angle right.
Love it. Love it. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go for a break. It appears pretty much everything is done. We just have a couple of minutes for our pesto coated sunflower seeds to toast, and then those would go into the salad as well, right? The sunflower seeds.
They will be sprinkled here,
Sprinkled
and
on
this
top.
is some coriander just to put on top of the stew.
Okay.
Yeah. So
okay,
we are getting
so
there.
we're pretty much there, and then our stew, chef.
It's ready.
It's ready.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and then our couscous as well. So let's go for a break. When we come back, we'll sit down, we'll eat, and then we'll have a little bit more conversation with our guests before we wrap it up. We'll be right back. Now, after all the hard work, it's time to eat here on What's Cooking. My favorite part, no, just joking. I mean, I love food, but every part is important. Every part is special to me. But this is What's Cooking right here on ChannelOne TV. Don't forget that we're sponsored by Tasty Tom. And Tasty Tom a favorite in the Ghanaian kitchen is no longer just about tomato paste. There's a lot of things that they're doing, including a range of spices. And you can see them here, try them out. Jollof spice, if you don't know how to mix your spices and your jollof is always off, or it tastes like a Niger jollof, this is the spice you need. Stew spice, beef spice, chicken spice, we've got it. I know Nigerian brothers and sisters are going to come for me, but you know I love you. But we've been cooking today. We've made a Zanzibar stew. I mean, I was just a supporting cast member. But Zanzibar stew, kale and pesto-coated sunflower seed salad. You know, there's some apples in there, red cabbage. It's a lot of great goodness, and there's some couscous as well. And our surprise guest at the table is this beautiful, I keep saying it's a gorgeous sourdough bread, and I can't wait to taste it. But the real chef here in the house is Lise Skinnebach, and I had to give it to you. But of course, His Excellency Rune Skinnebach has shown that he can hold it down in the kitchen. I respect. We doff our hats off to you. If we had them, we would. You know, and they've been here today. It's been great to get to know them. His Excellency is the new ambassador of the European Union to Ghana. So he is the head of mission here, and he's here with his very phenomenal wife. I mean, she's got a lot of different parts to her. She's a diplomat herself. And I keep saying that we tend to forget that when diplomats, heads of missions appear, we forget that their spouses are also performing diplomatic roles, and that's something that I want us all to learn about today. But speaking of all this diplomacy, we need to eat. So we'll serve, but while we're doing the serving, Your Excellency, I think it's a good time to ask you, you know, it's your second time back in Ghana, this time head of mission of the EU. What's the plan? What are you hoping to achieve? I know you've come with a lot of very interesting ideas. Over the last couple of years, we've seen the EU and Ghana move from just doing aid, even beyond trade, to now being formidable partners in development and business. And I'm curious to know what your plan is, how you envision growing that.
No, thank you for such an easy question before the food, Abby. No, listen, indeed, since we were here first time 30 years ago, not only Ghana has changed immensely, the world has become a different place. It's more fragmented. There are new like-minded, there are new less like-minded than before. There is a stronger demand, I would say, for development aid, but there is also a scarcer supply, which is a bad combination. Now, we have gradually developed as European Union from being a development partner of Ghana, and as you rightly say, into something else. This is partly because we have moved from doing cooperation or development cooperation and promoting our values and principles to now also promoting our interests, becoming a traditional diplomatic counterpart, I'd say. However, between the EU and Ghana, there are multiple coinciding interests, and those are the ones that I want to focus on during my tenure here, which is a 4-year period. I hope that we together can make Ghana realize its own vision, become not only a preferred partner of the EU, but also a preferred investment harbor for European investment. I think there's so much potential here, there's so much to be done. What we can do is, with the Global Gateway package, we can mobilize the funds from development partners, but also from international financing institutions and from private sector. However, to make that happen, we need to make Ghana an attractive investment destination. That means that we need to make it easy to do business. We need to make sure that the skills are available. We need to make sure that corruption is under control. We need, in short, to make sure that Ghana is doing better, not only better than it is now, but better than its competitors, because there are other countries around who also want European direct investments to flow in, and it's only those who does the best who will succeed in attracting them. And my mission here is to help Ghana doing better on that account.
No, I love that, and you know, we just started this aspect of the conversation by saying that we become partners. And when you're partners, you're friends on some level. And so I like the honesty, because friendship should be honest. That yes, there's opportunity for Ghana to grow and develop. by being able to attract investment from the European region. However, Ghana has work to do to make that happen. From what you're seeing, and I'm sure, I mean, you know Ghana, but this is your first time back. I'm sure it's been very busy. It's always busy for diplomats when you come in, and it's a whirlwind getting right to work. But what are some of the things you've mentioned? Corruption is definitely a problem, and it's something that we need to be honest about as a country. But what are some of the things that you think we need to do beyond some of the things you've already mentioned to be attractive for investment?
I think there's some low-hanging fruits that could be addressed. There's certainly, Ghana has a fantastic image in the world. It has a great potential. Enjoy the food while I'm answering your questions.
We're sorry.
Keep asking.
No, so there's a lot to play with also. But there are some interesting things. For example, for visitors to come to Ghana, it's very unnecessarily complicated to get a visa. This is something I don't understand. If you want tourism in Ghana, if you want investors to come in and see, why make it so difficult to get a visa? That's something that for me could be addressed. There may be good reasons for the complicated visa issuing procedures that I'm not aware of yet, but this is definitely something. I also think that establishing a business should be as easy as possible. But I'm not well acquainted enough. I see that Ghana is not in the top ranking. Again, it could be for good reasons, but there's something we can work on then. Then there is a whole issue of what should I say, stability also, the macroeconomic stability. That's always interesting for investors. It's something that the IMF is working on together with the government of Ghana. We are in a potentially very, very positive period now in Ghana, provided that fiscal discipline can be maintained. Absolutely. This is not a bad moment for that to happen. Next elections are far out in the future. The current president has stated that he will not run again, so he has a legacy to leave behind. So there are lots of factors playing in your favor. And then, of course, we as partners want to be perceived as positively as possible. And there are big responsibilities on your shoulders, because not only do you have to make me look very sharp in the kitchen, but also you need to portray me with lots of width and knowledge and insights. So I'm looking forward to seeing your show.
See? It is. And I think you've hinted at something, the fact that the media also has a part to play. I mean, we keep talking about the fact that when we watch movies, news items from all over the world, sometimes you just want to go and visit a country because of news that you've watched, you know, and that is a big onus that lies on the media as well. And, you know, we recognize that. And of course, as media that operate in Ghana, work in Ghana, we are a partner to the EU. I mean, once Ghana is a partner to the EU. So you can definitely count on us for that. Well, Lise, this is delicious.
You think so?
I just needed to pause and say that. I'm sad I have to talk so much, even though it's a great conversations. But you know, I'm enjoying this.
Thank you.
I want us to play a little game before we end.
Yeah.
So Lise, I'm going to let you pick. Just pick any of these. No
Feels
tricks.
like I'm back
no
at
strings.
the exam table.
I know,
Yeah.
but it's one exam. Don't worry.
Okay, here you go.
Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. When I open this, whatever is here, it's a question, and either of you
I think
will
there's
have
the
to
same
take
question on all of them.
So, between the two of you, who gets angry more easily?
No.
Well, he says it's you.
Well, I think it's settled.
Yeah.
But I'm also, I think, the nicest, you know, many levels.
So they're like me, because I've learned how to manage my temper over time. So when I get angry, then you really had to push
There's
me.
no doubt.
No, but I like to believe I'm a nice person.
I think you are.
Your turn to pick. Okay. Okay, so who has 1 and who has 0
Okay,
so
so
far?
we have 2 points.
Okay, Who is a better disciplinarian?
No doubt.
No
there.
doubt. Okay, another one for you,
Okay.
Lise.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. All right, what is your favorite mantra? So this will go to you. What's your favorite mantra?
Favorite mantra? I don't really need a mantra. You know what I do? Every time we have a small cottage by the sea in Denmark. And whenever I go there, I have an armchair by the beach, and I sit there, and I can sit there and stare all day long. That's the closest I come to a mantra.
To a mantra. So basically, when you have a moment, just drink it in. I think that's the mantra. Have a moment, drink it in. Live in the moment. I love it. Okay, want to pick one more?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Why do you look? It's
We are
easy
very
questions.
worried, yes. Tough questions.
What's next?
Who is usually the first to wake up from bed?
This is making me sound very boring.
So she is. We love it. We're wrapping up, and I really want us to dig into the food, but let me come to you, Lise. His Excellency has spoken a lot about what he does, but we know that behind every successful diplomatic envoy, there is a very strong spouse, you know, when there is one. And what are your hopes and dreams for supporting what His Excellency is aiming to do here?
That's a little bit hard for me to answer because I can't. It's definitely my aim to support Rune, but not only in Ghana, but that's part of the promise we have made to each other, just like he supports me. So, but I understand that this is a big step that Rune, my husband, undertakes a very important job, and I definitely want to support him in that endeavor. Yeah, but I also have a few plans for myself.
I know you do, and I'm sure as time goes on, we'll unfold them.
Yes.
Or you want to share one? Not yet?
I've been here a month, but I'll get there. Yeah, I have some ideas.
I'm sure you do. Do you have any final words?
No, thank you for inviting me for this so far most stressful afternoon I've had in Ghana. It's been a true
I
pleasure.
will take the badge. I made it stressful, but I'm happy. Thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. And you've been here for a short while, but yes, to subject yourself to scrutiny in the kitchen on national television, that cannot be easy, and I'm grateful that you chose to do it with me.
It was a great pleasure. Yeah,
Right.
a memorable one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll see more of you, more of the work you're doing, get a chance to amplify it as well, and then join in and support wherever we can do that.
Thank you so much, Abby.
Thank you. And now we need to eat.
Yes.
So I'm going to say bon voyage to wherever you're going, whether it's home, your bed, your own kitchen. Viewers, thank you so much for watching and staying with us today. It's been an exciting episode here on What's Cooking. We've made some Zanzibar stew, which is a recipe that Lise developed with a former cook at home, and I must say it's delicious. The ingredients are very easy to find, very simple, for nothing at all. Remember that there's sweet potato in there. We have plenty of that in Ghana. Try new things. And we have a kale salad. Also some very interesting ingredients in there. It goes with some couscous, and we have the sourdough bread. So even if you're going to do tea bread, you try the other things and combine them. I mean, it's a joy. And don't forget that, like we said with our code today, you know, depending on how you treat your food, what you eat, you're either giving yourself medicine or you're giving yourself poison. And we keep talking about the fact that there are a lot more lifestyle diseases going around in Ghana. We're seeing a rise in diabetes, hypertension, and those things you can start to curb in the kitchen, all right, on your table. Once again, my name is Apiorkor, and thank you to Lily Rice. Thank you to Tasty Tom. We'll see you again. Love you all. Bye-bye.